Hi, community. I'm excited to be back here again, and I hope you're keeping safe wherever you are across the world. Today, I want to share with us an interesting perspective that I hold on very strongly to, and that's talking about faith. The Bible calls it the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. At the end of this, I'm hoping that if you watch to the very end, you'll be fired up to take on those things that before now you never had the courage to. And you'll find out that you have everything it takes to become whatever it is you want to become and to achieve whatever it is you want to. It doesn't matter who you are, okay? But while we're at that, I want to encourage you, please subscribe to our channel. I mean, if you enjoy the videos we've been sharing, I know a lot of you do. I've been getting a lot of calls and messages. Subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification bell as well so that you continue to hear from us. It encourages us, it lets us know. And your comments also. I need to hear from you down there. In the comment section, just scroll, you will see the comment section. Leave your comments there and let's engage further. Let the conversation continue after the video. All right? So today we're talking about faith, the substance of things hoped for, and the evidence of things not seen. Now let us break down that sentence and see what it means. When you say the substance of things hoped for, I would like to say, for instance, give an example. When you get a check, it's nothing but a promissory note. If Bill Gates, for instance, were to visit with you and give you a check for $1 million, I mean, it's Bill Gates, right? Okay? Because of who he is, you obviously are not going to ask any questions. In fact, before that check clears, you probably would have started buying other things. You probably would have started issuing your own promissory notes. Why? Because of the confidence you have in the person behind that piece of paper. You haven't seen the money. But that check is the substance of what you're hoping for. Faith is not different. The second part of the sentence says, the evidence of things hoped for. Sorry, the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, rather. The evidence of things not seen. You have a sheet of paper, is the evidence of what you can't see. You see an alert in your phone, and it says $1 million. You haven't seen it. It's just a set of black and white on your phone. But you suddenly burst out rejoicing, happy. All you saw was an alert. Evidence of something not seen. But you're already joyous and you're so happy. The check, just a promissory note. Substance of something that you're hoping for. That's all it is. Now, how does that apply to us in life? More often than not, we tend to, not believe that anything is possible, probably because we don't see tangible or material evidence. If you're ill, a lot of people, doctors will tell you, many people die because of a lack of faith. They give up. And so if you've given up, there's nothing medicine can do for you. There's nothing a doctor can do for you. But if you can see yourself healthy ahead, as you pop the pill in, or a pastor comes and lays his hands on you to pray for you, or you take that traditional herb, drink it or whatever it is, the faith that you have in it is what empowers you. Because from that moment, you already see yourself well. You see yourself healed. Now, this applies in whatever it is that we do in life. Don't wait to see the end result. What faith does is it gives you the courage to take the first step. The person that made the original formula for Coca-Cola sold it off for pittance because he never saw beyond. If only he had seen. Who would have told him that Coca-Cola would be in every country? That there's probably nobody alive today apart from infants who has not tasted a bottle of Coke. Another example. People that founded companies like Panasonic, then National, Mercedes-Benz, Daimler, and Benz, for instance, and some of these other companies that started like nothing. Some of them, what they're doing today isn't even what they started with. Daewoo, for instance, they start as, what they are doing today is not even how they started. What is most important in life is to have a vision. A vision is different from sight. Because what vision does is, it sees what the eye cannot see. Vision and faith go together. Because in your mind, you can see the end from the beginning. It was Walt Disney that it was said of that, he sat down when he was working on Disneyland and all that. He saw, where he was talking about seeing mountains and some of what you see there in Disney today, and a worker was beside him. People were like, "What's this man talking about?" Of course, he was not alive when it was finished. But you know what? On the day it was launched, someone came to give a speech and he said, "Oh, if only Disney were alive today to see this." When it was the wife's turn to give a speech, he said, "No, point of correction, he had seen it a long time ago." Another example, one of my favorites, John F. Kennedy. This always trips me. Whenever I listen to that speech, he fired up Americans, challenged them to put a man and craft on the moon. He didn't know how it was going to be done. But in the speech that he gave, he described to the letter what kind of metal or alloys would be used to make it, described the size of the vessel, described how it would go into space and how it will come back and all that would happen, all in his mind's eye, the power of vision. You know what? He didn't live to see it, but he had planted the seed. And what happened? Before the end of that decade, Americans had put a man on the moon. And guess what? Since then, they've not been able to put any other man on the moon. Crafts have gone. Are we not more advanced technologically? Is science, computers are not, did we even have the kind of computers we have? Any computers with the kind of computing power that we have today? But when a man saw in his mind's eye and fired up his people and was able to sell the vision, Americans bought into it. And they went, planted the man on the moon. They went, put the flag on the moon. And since then, they've not been able to do that. Power of vision. Martin Luther King saw Obama before Obama became a reality. He had a dream. Of course, after that speech, shortly afterwards, he was killed. He didn't get there, but he saw it. That is the power of vision. You've got to be able to see it in your mind's eye. Start with what you have where you are today. That company, that business, that little thing you start today, 50 years down the line, you would not believe. It is the Bible that said in 1 Corinthians 2:9, it said, behold, eye has not seen, nor ear heard, nor has it entered into the heart of man the things which the Lord has prepared for them that love him. And so I say to you, wherever you are, like Moses, use what you have, that rod. It's enough. Just start with what you have where you are. Don't wait until things are perfect. Don't wait to have everything ready. The journey to the top starts at the bottom. You can't just land at the top. Use what you have. And then watch how things unfold. The important thing is having your mind's eye the end. Of course, you can't even begin to fathom it, but have an idea. Every skyscraper, every invention started from the mind. Someone saw it first in the mind. The power of vision. You can be blind and yet see. I have great respect for a woman like Helen Keller. Blind, deaf, dumb, as a child. But she grew to be one of the greatest persons of the last century. So it's not what you see with your eyes. It's what you see with your inner mind. Question is, what do you see? Do you see greatness? If you don't, unfortunate. So, but if you can see it in your mind's eye, don't worry about where you are now. Take action today. Don't wait for everything to be ready. Plant a seed. If you want to live under a shade in your old age, plant the seed for a tree in your house today. There is no tree go to a house. I live in a house where I planted so many trees. You come in there, it's like, I call it the forest in my neighborhood. Every single grass I planted, every single tree. And so if you see the trees and, huge and all of that, I'm enjoying the shade and I'm enjoying it today because I planted the seed years ago. For many, they can only wish. But if you want to live under shade in years to come, the time to plant is now. And it starts with a seed, not a tree. You don't go planting a big tree. No, you start with a seed. The seed is the smallest part or unit of any tree or any plant. So get a seed, that thing that you have, plant it today. If it's money, if it's your talent, if it's your resources, whatever it is, do that today. Nurture it and watch it grow. You never can tell. Remember that passage? Behold, eye has not seen, nor ear heard, nor has it entered into the heart of man what the Lord has prepared for them that love him. Faith, substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. Begin to exercise your faith today in little things, and as they begin to manifest, you can grow them on to bigger things. And I promise you, you can take on any challenge in the world. If you have found this useful, please subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to this channel. Just down below here, you see this red button. Hit it. And then while you're at that, you see the bell, notification bell, hit that as well. What the bell does is it makes sure that whenever a video like this comes out, you'll be the first to know. You'll get a notification. And leave your comments as well. Let's engage. Let me know your experience or your story about faith. If you agree or disagree, let's engage. In the comments, just scroll down. You'll see the segment for comments. Leave your comments below and let's engage.